Having the right lens when you're out there traveling is something that I think everybody's looking to find. Most people just want the all-in-one, do-it-all lens. I think I might have that lens. Today, I have the Sony 24-105 f4 OSS G lens. This lens is an older lens, but one that might just fit that travel bill. Let's go ahead and talk about why this lens might be the perfect travel lens, even in 2023. Okay, so most people want one lens to travel with. This lens may fit the bill. Why? Because it's a zoom lens, and most people are looking for zoom lenses when they're out there traveling. And a prime lens, albeit those are great, zooms are versatile, it avoids having to change lenses multiple times when you're out there shooting. And the reason why they want the zoom is because they want to be able to have one lens put on their camera for 90% of the day. And being a zoom lens going from 24 all the way out to 105, that may just fit the bill. And I mean, this lens has OSS, so that is an extra little perk. What's OSS? That's optical steady shot. That is Sony's lens stabilization. For some camera bodies, they don't have a great stabilization. They don't have IBIS. If you have the Sony a7 IV, the a7S III, which I'm shooting on right now, yeah, the IBIS is really good in these cameras. Having lens stabilization can definitely help, so you don't have to go into active mode and really crop in an extra 1.1 times. I mean, many Sony cameras have IBIS, but if you're shooting with something like the a6400 or even the a6100, those cameras don't have IBIS. So you could be out there shooting and you need some stabilization, and this thing is definitely gonna pick up the slack for where your camera is gonna falter. I mean, you can even shoot this thing at 105 millimeters and it's gonna be a pretty steady shot. I mean, as you can see from this shot right here, I was zoomed into 105 millimeters. And in fact, on my Sony a7 IV, when I put on APS-C mode, and even when I clear image zoomed up to 1.5, this shot stayed super steady. I mean, for me, that could be a game changer when you're out there, especially if you're out doing like family videos or you're just out traveling, you want a one and done lens. Now this lens's lowest aperture is an f4.0. So that means it's not gonna be great in low light, but if you're outside during the middle of the day, like I said, we're using this for a travel lens. And f4.0 is gonna be really good. It's gonna still get you some separation, not an amazing amount, but it is gonna give you enough to really kind of separate yourself from the background. It's not gonna blur out the background that much, but again, if you're out there and you're shooting, maybe you're doing family videos and things like that, do you really need an f1.4 or even a 2.8? Probably not. You're probably gonna wanna see some of the background. And on top of it, if you're shooting things like kids like I do, they're gonna be moving in and out of focal plane. You wanna make sure that you capture more of them. So a lot of times I found myself shooting between an f4.0 and even like a 7.1. Now I did use this lens indoors to shoot my daughter's concert, and having the 105 reach was super helpful. It wasn't the most lit situation, and on my Sony a7S III, I did have to crank up the ISO all the way up to 12,800. But as you can see, the shot turned out okay. I mean, it's not anything that's gonna set the world on fire, but it did a good enough job. Now there are a couple downsides with this lens, especially if you're out traveling and things of that nature. First off, this lens, it's heavy. It's heavy. It comes in at 1.46 pounds or 666 grams. And on top of it, it's not the smallest setup either. Let me go ahead. I'm gonna attach it to my Sony a7 IV and I'm gonna show you exactly what I'm talking about here. So now I do have it on my Sony a7 IV, and as you can see here, I mean, this lens, it is pretty big. It's pretty chunky. It's gonna have a little bit of weight to it, obviously. Now this is pretty close to like a 3.5 pound setup. And it's definitely not a lens that you're gonna be out there vlogging with, right? I mean, it's kind of heavy. From behind the camera, you're gonna be able to get some great video and even some amazing photos. It's a G lens, so it's not top of the line. It's not your G Master lens. Now their G lens line does a great job still of creating beautiful images. So this thing isn't a kit lens. I mean, this is kind of that step up. You got your GM lenses, and those are your top of the line lenses. These G lenses, some of them are really good. Like I have the Sony 20mm f1.8G. That lens is a fantastic lens. Now this lens too is a slightly older lens. It could probably use a refurb. It does not have any of the real new tech in it. So let me go ahead and show you what I'm talking about here. Also, been using the Sigma 16-28 lens, f2.8, a lot more for vlogging. So real quick, take a look at this lens here and I'll show you what I'm talking about. It goes from 24 all the way up to 105, and it doesn't have any aperture ring on it like a lot of the new lenses do. Now it does have a manual autofocus switch. The manual focus ring, it's their standard focus ring for Sony. So when it does zoom, it does extend. And I would say that this zoom, it's stiff. You don't get much creeping back down, as you can see here, so no creep. And there's really no creeping when you hold it upside down either. So yeah, no creep, no creep. Nobody wants a creep, you know? And then on top of it, you do have your optical steady shot here, which you can turn on and off. We also have a focus hold button right up here. Now it does have a 77mm filter thread, and it does have a rubber gasket, so this thing is semi-weatherproof. But I can tell you that the autofocus is pretty zippy, pretty fast, and you're not gonna struggle finding focus on this thing. So in conclusion, I do think this is a great lens if you're looking for a one and done travel lens. Now, shooting during the day, this is gonna be a great lens for you. This lens I can see doing very well in most situations. It's gonna give you a lot of reach, and it's gonna give you a lot of bang for your buck. So if you wanna check out more about this lens, feel free to check out the links down in the description below. If you do decide to purchase this lens, if you could use one of those links, it does help support the channel. If you have any comments, questions, concerns about this lens, please leave those down in the comments below. I do want to have a conversation with you about this lens. If you like this video, I'm sure you're gonna like the video on the screen now. It's about another lens for the Sony system. Before you leave, don't forget to like, subscribe, ring the bell. See you in the next one.